Tudor isn't just the affordable Rolex anymore, it is the most daring watch brand on the planet. And in 2026, the younger sibling is finally taking the throne. Welcome back to Luxe Pulse. This is the year we've all been waiting for. 1926 to 2026, Tudor is officially 100 years old. While its older sibling Rolex often plays it safe with incremental changes, Tudor has spent the last century, and specifically the last 2 decades, building a daring identity that leaves collectors breathless. Today, we are diving into the Tudor 2026 Centenary predictions. We're talking about the return of a legendary chronograph, a complicated Padellone for the masses, and the final technical takeover of the Black Bay line. To understand where Tudor is going in 2026, you have to understand where it started. Registered by Hans Wilsdorf in 1926, Tudor was always meant to offer the dependability of Rolex at a more accessible price. But for decades, it lived in the shadow of the crown. That all changed with the 2007 reboot. Since then, Tudor has found its soul as a real enthusiast brand. They have more creative leverage than Rolex could ever dream of. Think about the Flamingo Blue Chrono or the Black Bay 54 Lagoon Blue. These aren't safe watches, they're risks. And in 2026, that liberated spirit is hitting its absolute peak. With the massive momentum of their Kenissi movement manufacture and METAS certifications, Tudor enters its second century as a powerhouse in its own right. Let's get into the heavy hitters. The number 1 rumour for Watches and Wonders 2026? The return of the Big Block Chronograph. 2026 marks the 50th anniversary of Tudor's first automatic chronographs, the 1976 Prince Oyster date. We saw the teaser in 2023 with the unique gold Prince Chronograph 1 for Only Watch, which featured a prototype movement, the MT59XX. Currently, Tudor's chronos use the MT5813, a fantastic movement, but it's based on Breitling's Bezo 1 architecture. For the Centenary, we predict Tudor will drop a mass-production big block featuring that proprietary in-house column wheel Kenissi chronograph movement with full METAS certification. This would be the ultimate flagship release, a watch that honours the 1976 legend while proving Tudor's technical autonomy from everyone, including Rolex. But what about the dress watches? The 1926 collection has always been a bit generic. That changed last year with the 1926 Lunar and its moon phase indication. For 2026, we're expecting Tudor to go high complication. There is a leaked Rolex patent from late 2025 describing a triple calendar mechanism with day and month windows at 12 o'clock. Now, remember, Tudor is often the testbed for Rolex's future tech. We predict a 1926 annual calendar or a triple calendar moon phase. By reviving the spirit of the Padellone, the collector's nickname for the vintage Rolex 8171, Tudor can offer a complicated, vintage-inspired dress watch that Rolex isn't ready to release yet. Imagine this in a precious metal variant with an elaborate honeycomb dial. It would transform the 1926 line from a generic entry point into a legitimate horological proposition. Finally, let's talk about the backbone of the brand, the Black Bay. Following the 2025 release of the Black Bay 58 Burgundy with its METAS Master Chronometer movement and that stunning 5-link bracelet, the path is clear. In 2026, we expect a systematic technical upgrade across the entire collection. The classic black and blue Black Bay 58s are likely to receive the METAS upgrade and the T-Fit micro-adjustment system across the board. Tudor is standardizing Master Chronometer as their baseline. We might even see a chromatic evolution, new dial colours that reference archival prototypes, like a revival of the Tudor sub-aesthetic without using the Submariner name. 100 years ago, Tudor was an idea in Hans Wilsdorf's head. Today, it's a brand that earns its legitimacy every single day through technical competence and daring design. Whether it's a titanium big block or a lapis-dialed anniversary piece, 2026 is Tudor's year to celebrate exactly the way they want. If you could only have one, the in-house big block chronograph or a triple calendar 1926 Padellone, which are you choosing? And do you think Tudor has finally surpassed Rolex in terms of enthusiast value? Drop your predictions in the comments below. I'll be jumping in to see who has the best theory. Don't forget to subscribe to Luxe Pulse for our coverage of Watches and Wonders 2026. We'll be on the ground in Geneva to see if these predictions come true.